Welcome back to the second episode of the Diary of a Landscaper. We really appreciate you being here with us. Your time really matters to us. So thank you for keep tuning on our channel. And here is another episode for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. And don't forget to share, like, comment, email, whatever. We're gonna put most of the information on the channel so you can participate. Your opinion really matters for us. So let's get started. So based on what we discussed in the previous episode, I started back in 2001 as a landscaper in a big landscape company here in the area. It's called the China Landscape. So the first episode, I believe resume, it was about how people doesn't want to teach new employees. They just assume because we came from Mexico, we came from some other background that we don't need instruction very detailed. We must assume that we're gonna get that automatically, like nature. No, we need to teach people how to do it, and that was my biggest challenge when I started. Because the next several months, I struggled a lot on that company because I was the lazy guy, let's say. I was the employee who wasn't performing right. I was the guy who is not doing the things or the tasks that I was asked to do. But it wasn't because I was the lazy guy, or it wasn't because I was really not caring about the company. It was because I didn't know how to do it. So without guidance, I was just always failing. And if I stopped to ask a co-worker how to do this, and unfortunately the supervisor or the guy in charge was coming back or writing to me, and he saw me, or they saw me doing that, that, look, this guy is standing again talking to the other guy instead of working. So all those things, all those perspectives were pointing fingers at me, because their thoughts, their communication was that I was not looking for help. It was the opposite. I was looking to waste time and get some tiki-taka, or be in the chisme, like in the chisme. No, I was looking to get answers how to do the work to perform better. So that was my big challenge. In the next several months, I jumped from crew to crew, from person to person. Nobody really wants me to have on his crew. Luckily for me, my brother he had a great position there, a supervisor, and my cousin too, and I have more family related there. They can really put the work for me, like give them a second, third, fifth. I don't know how many chances they give me, but thanks to that, I become what I am today. So, long story short, I started chasing one idea, try to do better every single day. And the most challenging thing was try to change the vision or the idea that the supervisors and the co-workers they had against me by being the lazy boy, the guy who wants to talk but not work. I was basically the lazy guy again. So I had to change that. And in order to do that, I had to focus and learn stuff. And then again, back in those days, the crew leaders, the people in charge, didn't really want to teach you a lot, because they thought that if you learn, you will take their position away from them. It's like the current politics, the immigrants come to steal work from people who is legal here. And again, this is a nice story. I don't want to touch into politics. This is nothing to do against politics. This is how my life was, or the life of the landscaper, which in the future I'm gonna bring more people, interviews and things like that. But at the beginning, since it's my podcast and my channel, I'm gonna start with my story, the history that I go through to get here. And it's challenging, it's stressful, and it's sometimes depressive, because you feel like no matter what you do, people is not seeing your value, your work, and you become more frustrated, more stressed stressful than anything. I'm gonna pause a little bit to change position. The sun might not helping the lighting on my video. Much better. The sun was cooking my back and I was start to sweat. Anyways, back to the topic, back to it. So again, I spent several months trying to change the vision, the perspective for me, the idea, the ideology of those people above me, thinking that I was the lazy. And then another big challenge that I had, a lot of those co-workers or supervisors, crew leaders that I have, they have a little bit of resemblance against my brother. Because my brother was, here in his position with hard work too and demonstrating things. And a lot of people don't like that when you just keep working and don't show. I don't want to use that word empathy. It's not empathy. He wasn't showing friendship to the coworker. He just treat people as a coworker, not as a friend, and that a lot of people doesn't like on the work zone. Because if your friend is working with you, you're not gonna take it serious, because you can joke, sometimes those jokes, those things will bring you into misunderstanding or fights, stupid fights, but it's gonna take you there. So my brother is always putting that boundary against that, and some people took it wrong and they say, oh, this guy, the typical word that we use as a Latino is the barbero. So he was stuck with that again, his story. Hopefully one day interview him on this podcast. But long story short, again, my work skill, my labor work, it was overshadowed by his work, and on top of that, I was punished for some of his action. They didn't want to trust me. They didn't want to have the opportunity to discover who I really was. They just was putting the same tag on me as my brother. So that again created me a lot of stress and conflict until I met another supervisor, which was I think it was a Vietnamese or Philippine lady. I don't recall her nationality, but her name was Annabelle. And Phil, it was an American guy too. They gave me the chance to move with a crew, with a guy Latino, Onesimo, good guy. He teach me all what I know today, or most of the stuff that I know today. But he taught me how to do it right. He used to say a lot of, instead of calling my name, he used to say, joven. He didn't use your name or anything. He just, regardless of the co-worker, he always used that word. Joven, do this, joven, do this. Joven is like John, youth, something like that. Anyways, this guy took me in his crew, gave me the chance to learn and to see my true potentials. He didn't judge me about because of my brother's history. He didn't judge me about whatever the other company was saying or all the co-workers. He just trusts me, and he started teaching me every single thing, and the good thing for me and also for him, because I was working for his crew. So the better I performed, the better his working hours and everything. So he always taught me how to use the right tool for the right task, and my brain, how to think outside the box to make sure that job will get done faster and the most good way possible, because there is no 100%. Forget about that. People who say, oh, I do it 100%, that's a lie. Nobody can do 100% in the planet. Nobody. At least not these days. Maybe before other civilization, but our civilization right now is not capable of doing 100%. So then that guy told me, hey, focus on one thing, do one task at a time. Don't try to go here and there and do little bit over there, little bit over here, and jump back and forth. No, just stick with one thing, finish it completely as the best as you can, and that will change everything. And always organize your time and your tools. When you do that, you cut at least 30% of time waste on a task. Because a lot of people, they just go running around like I would call it chicken without a head, chicken sin cabeza, running around, running for tools, running for this. And that's what he taught me, don't do that in a rush. Always think before you do, and make sure the next step you're gonna do is with the whole confidence that you're gonna do it right, not wrong. Because if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't do it right, and you don't go with that attitude, you're gonna end up wasting your time and money. So he teach me that. So I start to learn as much as I can. I start to focus my vision and learn from him and from everything I could to become a better labor. I didn't focus to be the best labor in the companies. I didn't focus to be the best guy or the best worker. I just focused on myself growing and on knowledge and a little bit on the speed. That's it. I didn't care if they were guys faster than me or more knowledgeable. I was going that way. But once I realized that all I was doing was so right that it was paying me back, because then it comes the opportunity to make my own crew. So like they give me a raise and they give me a truck and 2 guys to be working for me now under my supervisor. So I became a crew leader thanks to that guy for all the things he taught me and teach me to improve myself 1% every day. And that's true. If you just focus on get yourself better 1% at least every day, you will become miles ahead of anyone who's going rushing without learning. By learning, I'm saying that a lot of people just rush and think, I know how to do papers, but they think they know how to do it, but they don't know how to do it. They just doing it because someone told them to do it that way, but they never question if it was the right way or the wrong way. And always question yourself, my friend. I'm doing it right or I'm doing it wrong. Get a book. Those papers, catalogs, they have a lot of information. But they used to, now they just have little. But if you go to the website, you can download the PDF. You can do many things to inform yourself before doing a task. And that's what I did. I got books. I got any hands-on training that the company did back then. I signed myself up for it. And going to a store, asking for things, asking for information, always asking them. A lot of people laugh at me because I was the stupid guy who asked a lot of questions. But that took me to the moon and beyond by asking questions and learning how to do. So again, to be the worst guy in the company, I became to be a better guy, and then a greater guy, and then eventually the best guy in the company. But that will come in a different episode. Again, I'm going towards there. So once they start giving me those jobs, I start tackling the same way that guy told me how to do it. And I always take care of the company tools and truck and everything. The cleaner, the better. I mean, and myself too. Always try to be clean, because I see there's a lot of messy guys over there just running crews, but they have a mess. If your truck is a mess, if your clothes is a mess, if your home is a mess, my friend, your life is a mess, and your work will reflect the mess on you. So try to organize yourself. I know it's hard. It's hard. Because most of our Latino guys, I love Latino guys, man, don't get me wrong, I don't have nothing against them. I'm a Mexican, and I love Mexico, but sometimes we came from there with so messy mindset, because that's how Mexico rules. Mexico, they just use al rato, or next, palotra, or mañana será otro día. So all those things. Tomorrow is another day. Later on, we are slacky. Mexicans are weird. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we're lazy. We do a lot of work, but we don't know how to tackle. We don't know. Nobody tells me that we have to be organized. If you organize yourself, you put everything very, very itemized, or lines, items, or lists, or journalist, or diary, whatever you want to call it. Make sure you write things down, how to do, make a list, una lista, le decimos en español lista, no tonta, lista. Make a list, to organize yourself, your truck, be clean, organized with a toolbox. I remember when I got my truck, again, I'm gonna go back to my truck. The first thing I did, I cleaned the truck, because I who had it, so I cleaned it. I get off that truck, whatever trash it was, and whatever tool didn't work properly, whatever chingadera was there, I get it down. And I start putting everything that works back to the truck, everything that is useful, everything that is gonna help me perform the task better, I put it back into the truck. Whatever else didn't work for me, or I didn't need it for the type of work I was gonna do, I left it on the yard. I give it to the mechanic or to whoever it was in charge of inventory, from tool inventories, for the tool room. I leave it there, and I just carry the stuff that I need for things that I was gonna do. So I started with the smallest tasks. Like, let's say the big crew is gonna finish this project. I was the one who was giving the final touches, like cleaning, make sure everything is nice and tight, because again, I showed them, now I start showing them that I take care and pride of doing things the most straightforward possible, as closest of the 100% as possible. So they start giving me, okay, this guy, Juan Tinajero was his name, he's gonna finish the one project. You go clean up and do the final touches like mulch and things like that, and he's gonna move to the next big project because he needs to be moving, digging, because he knows how to use the equipment and all those things.